Today I received my rebuilt kit, carburetor kit for my lawnmower. So today I'm gonna put it in. Briggs Stratton lawnmower. I have the Craftmans model, but it's the Briggs Stratton. It's the basic carburetor. And I'll go ahead and start a rebuild kit. I'll show you from beginning to the end. I'll start off taking it off, rebuilding it, and then placing it back on. This is one of the reasons why I'm rebuilding my carburetor. Right after you start it up, it runs for a little while, and then it quits. What is happening is that our carburetor bowl is not fully filling up with fuel. So we're gonna take this one off and see if that's the case. This is gonna be my little workstation. I have a couple of spools to keep my tools on, and I'll be rebuilding the carburetor on this one. And I also have one to sit on. Just a couple of spools I had found. So this will be my little workstation for right now. First thing I'm gonna take off is the air cleaner. Next thing I'm gonna take off is a little air cleaner housing. Next thing I'm gonna take off is the fuel line. Just need some pliers to take this off. We'll move it back a little bit. They might have a little gas that comes out of it. I'm gonna just lift it right upright. Next, I'm gonna give myself a 3/8. That's 2 bolts on each side of the carburetor, and I'm gonna unscrew it. This part right here might be a little tricky. As you can see, there's a little notch that goes in the carburetor. All you got to do is tilt it and roll it out, and it'll come off. I got the carburetor off. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scrape some of this stuff off. I'm gonna scrape the old gasket off. We're gonna go ahead and make sure we get this real good right here. This little hole right here, this needs to be clean, because this is where your primer, when you hit the primer bulb, the primer pushes air through here, which also pushes air through that nozzle that you see in there. So I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. I just got a broken off steel brush. I'm gonna go ahead and take the bolt off at the bottom. It's a metering bolt, and there's also a hole. This is the bowl that holds the float and the needle in it. We took our bowl off. As we can see, our float sits a little high. It should be level off, which means this little gasket that's inside here that's swelled up a little bit, keep our float from going all the way down. I'm gonna get this nice and clean. As you can look inside, I loosen it up some. I just get a little hook and pull it on out of there. You see it? Other things that I'm going to do, I'm going to take just a regular little paper clip. And you see the little holes, the jet holes? I'm going to just swab them out. Make sure it's nice and clean here and at the top. My new seat for my needle. I'm gonna clean this out with a Q-tip before I put it in there. I'm ready to put this in. We're gonna put the groove side down. See a little groove in it, a little circle. We're gonna sit it in there. We put it in there. We're gonna take a little punch and sit it down all the way. Okay, we got that in. Next thing we're gonna do is get our new needle. Put our new needle on our float nice and clean. We sit it back on there and put our new pin, get our new pin and put our new pin in. As we can see, the float is much lower now. It's how to level off. See what I'm talking about? Our lawnmower should run great. Next thing I want to get my little gasket for my bowl and just place it around there. It'll fit nice and snug. Stretch it a little bit. Another thing we need to do is make sure our jets are clean. As you can see, you just stick a regular paper clip through it, and you should see it come out through the other end. I also could take my little Q-tip, wet it a little bit, WD-40 and just clean it out. Make sure it's clear. Also in our kit, we already cleaned this up real clean. We're gonna put our little gasket on it. That's also came in the kit. Back to our lawnmower. You remember we're gonna put our gasket on. Now we're ready to put our carburetor back on. As you remember, the little lip that's on top of the carburetor, we're gonna take that and just insert it in and roll it around and place it on there. While it's connected, I'm gonna drop down my fuel line and connect it up. As you remember telling you that this is we need to make sure this is nice and clear. This is where our primer pushes air to bring it through the nozzle that's on the inside. My cover's a little dirty, so I'm gonna knock some dirt off of here before I put my gasket. I'm gonna replace my gasket on here, just like it is, making sure I have that opening right here, so that when I push it, air come through it for my primer. I got a little PCV, which I want to make sure it gets connected. Now we're back to the beginning. We got it all, just put it back on like you took it off. I don't have an air cleaner, so I'm gonna just use an air conditioning filter. It'll work until I get to the store. And give me another one. Now let me give it a try. So I guess I'm stuck with cutting the yard now.
Across the metropolitan in USA, everybody with a mouse talking about a DJ Mix Master. DJ Ice, to be precise, the boy is nice, cause he can cut